What a mess.
Gonna take some cleaning up, that's for sure.
I wish it hadn't gone that way.
Well, they shouldn't bring guns to work with them. We didn't have a lot of choice.
You have to admire the barefaced cheek of someone who tries to blow your brains out one minute, then pleads innocence the next.
Yeah, especially when he's surrounded by evidence. You know, guys like Bigelow spend so much time convincing themselves that they're not doing anything wrong, that they actually start to believe their own bullshit.
They get sloppy. Bigelow, Lightfall, all of them. If they hadn't, who knows how long they could have kept this racket going.
Complacency or greed. It's always one of the two that brings them down. Take it easy. Can we try to get there in one piece?
You're under arrest.
You again? This harassment is starting to wear thin.
We found a box of pink slips in a warehouse full of hot cars. You signed for them, Lightball.
I signed for all the orders and deliveries. You'll need something better than that, cowboy.
Your money and influence will be worthless in San Quentin. If you don't go crazy in the first couple of months, then you'll probably get knifed in the chow line. Is that what you want?
Save it for the suckers, Detective. You'll get nothing from me.
Gordon Lightball, I'm charging you with conspiracy and fraud. Hands behind your back.
Now, where shall I start? With the two GTA suspects we had to let walk free? Or with the female suspect, who I am reliably told, slipped the leash with embarrassing ease? You just lost the chance to crack one of the biggest criminal operations in this city. How do you think that makes me look? The chief has my balls in a frying pan! Now get out there and fill some charge sheets. Misdemeanors if you have to. Get me something before I even think about giving you another case.
My family runs a shipping business in San Francisco. We used to have 2 ships a week to Tokyo. We've been in shipping for 2 generations, Hank. I've never been on a voyage anywhere. I feel like Odysseus in the beginning of his journey.
The Odyssey took 10 years, Cole.
This is the American century. America can rule the world after we win this war.
We need to stay alive, Cole. These men are counting on us. Have you heard what the veterans are saying to each other?
No.
Golden Gate and 48. That's 4 more hard years of fighting.
Phelps, Bukowski, you have a new case. 2 women, possible drink drive.
How is that a case?
The broad says she was doped and that somebody tried to kill her.
Where did this take place?
That's the bit you're gonna love. Right across the street.
What?
A Chevy Styline took a nosedive off the escarpment, fetched up underneath a Cola King billboard. Up to it, boys. We got bad guys to catch.
Yeah, I want to make homicide.
See you later, fellers. Try not to work too hard.
Look at you bantering with the boys. Brings a tear to my eye watching my caterpillar grow wings.
I'm just trying to fit in.
Educated, hardworking, straight as an arrow. I hate to break it to you, Cole, but you'll never fit in at Central.
She wants a 5-star goddamn wedding.
Stop just ahead. Her face looks familiar.
Well, that's June Ballard, Tarzan's sister, beast of the Amazon. She's married to Guy McAfee. The captain has moved to Vegas now, but the 2 of them still have juice.
Phelps, traffic.
Detective Phelps. Hey, Bukowski. Long time no see.
You could have called this in by megaphone, Enrique. Phelps, this is Enrique Gonzalez. Enrique was a pretty decent middleweight.
What do we have, Gonzalez?
Broad drives right through the empty lot and off the side of the escarpment. Her story is that a movie producer doped her and her friend and sent the car over the cliff.
Was anyone hurt?
Driver's beat up. Not too bad considering. If she hadn't hit that billboard, you'd be scraping both of them off the pavement. Passenger's a Jessica Hamilton. She's just a kid. She's pretty knocked around.
Kid gonna be all right?
I think so. They've taken her to central receiving. If you want to take a look around, you can stall the ambulance.
Thanks. Do that.
One more thing. Watch out for the driver. She cuts rough.
This ain't the red carpet, so get out of my lens.
If you're looking for the coroner, he's down by the crash site.
Mrs. McAfee, we would like to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
I prefer to use my maiden name, June Ballard. You might be familiar with some of my work.
Can you tell us what happened here?
You're kind of cute for a cop. Maybe a bit on the serious side.
What about me, June? I'm a big fan of Beast.
You? I don't like. Keep out of this.
We understand that you're still suffering from the effects of the accident, Mrs. McAfee. The officer says that you claimed that you were drugged. Who did this to you?
That rat slipped us a Mickey Finn. It's no wonder I feel so dopey. I can't remember.
It's a serious offense to withhold information from the police during a criminal investigation, madam.
I told you to call me June. You're making me feel like an old lady. And don't bother your handsome head about this. My husband will settle the score with Mark Bishop.
You mentioned a Mark Bishop. You think he might have had something to do with this?
He is a movie producer. As for his involvement, you just leave it to me and my husband to worry about.
I want to know what happened between you two that made him want to commit a double murder.
Bishop offered me a part in his picture. Then he withdrew it. Fact is, we had a deal. I pressed him on it, and this is where I end up.
This is a big scene, Phelps. We need to get our bearings. Let's go see the coroner.
You'll want to see this, Phelps. There, laid out on the trunk. And that isn't even the best part.
She's a long way from home. They've been torn off. Where did you find them?
They were stuffed in the young lady's handbag. I'll run a trace for semen when I get back to the lab.
Drunk driver?
Maybe not.
How so?
Well, a head I found without a body piqued my interest. See what you think.
Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him, Horatio. Is it real?
No. I think it's supposed to be a replica of an Indian shrunken head. It's some kind of curio or movie prop. See the casting marks?
What's it made from?
Plaster of Paris would be my first guess, then painted.
So we can rule out the murder angle?
No, you can rule that in. That thing was wedging the accelerator to the floor. Whoever did it wanted these women dead. Just when I think I've seen it all. Another day, another dollar.
We should speak to Ballard again. She might not be telling us the whole story.
What can you tell us about the passenger in your car?
Jessica Hamilton. Poor Jessica. It's been a rough day for her. She's desperate to break into movies. What more can I say?
How old is Jessica, Mrs. Ballard?
I couldn't say how old Jessica is. Old enough, sweetheart, as the saying goes.
We found a shrunken head. It was used to tamper with your car.
You see, I normally don't drive off cliffs. The last thing I remember is getting behind the wheel.
It's obviously some kind of movie prop. You must know where it came from.
In case you hadn't noticed, I am the talent. And the talent doesn't deal with props or sets or any of that kind of stuff. Why don't you ask Mark Bishop which prop house he uses?
Mrs. McAfee, I think it would be in everyone's best interest if you accompanied Patrolman Gonzalez back to the receiving hospital.
I'm going to be okay. These guys can take me home after my lawyer and I have talked to the news hounds.
Mrs. McAfee, you are still under the influence of narcotics, and you're likely to go into shock once the drugs wear off.
And I thought you were a heel. It's nice of you to be concerned.
I think we're good here. Let's go see what we can shake out of the kid.
The car crash victim has regained consciousness at Central Receiving Hospital.
11K Roger, en route.
Why aren't you using the siren?
What the hell?
Hello, Detective Phelps, here to interview a Jessica Hamilton.
Jessica Hamilton. Oh, yes. She's in the room, right behind you, Detective.
You can't hold me here. No! I don't need to
Feeling
be
better
manhandled
since
by
this
a
morning,
doctor.
Jessica?
I need my lawyer.
A little.
Hey, where is the telephone? Do you know who I am?
read about him in the newspaper. Swanning around in
I gave his wife a tap. I said all's fair in love and war.
Boys, your victim has come around. She's sitting up in bed next door.
If you were twice as smart, you'd still be stupid.
Advice?
You think she's okay to have visitors? Ask the doc.
Hello, Doctor. I'm Detective Phelps. You're attending to the young lady from the auto accident?
Yes. She's conscious now, but I doubt she'll remember much. She's still feeling some of the after effects.
Jessica was drugged?
She certainly was. Chloral hydrate would be my guess, and there's clear evidence of abuse. She's still a minor, Detective.
Someone planned a double murder to cover up a statutory rape? Swap 7 years for life and gets Guy McAfee on their case? Doesn't make much sense to me.
I guess it depends on what they had to lose. Any ideas?
Kid gloves when you talk to little Jessica Phelps. But anything she can remember will be useful.
Hello, Jessica. My name is Cole Phelps. I'm a policeman. I'd like to talk to you about your accident, if that's okay.
Okay.
We need to get in touch with your parents, Jessica, to tell them what has happened.
Oh, you don't need to worry them. They sent me along to stay with Aunt June. They trust her to take care of me.
Jessica, if you don't want me to call your father, you better tell me what happened.
Please, please don't call Daddy. Why are you being so horrible to me? Can't you see what I've been through?
Can you tell me what you remember about the crash?
It's all kind of fuzzy. I remember waking up here. Nothing happened yesterday.
Tell the truth, Jessica. Why the big cover-up?
I'm not lying to you.
We found your underwear in your handbag, Jessica. You need to tell us what happened.
The doctor told me what happened. I didn't want that. I just wanted to be a star, to be in movies. I told Junie what happened, and she told me to toughen up. That was the price of stardom.
Did she now, cold-hearted bitch?
It's not Junie's fault. It's not my first time. I had a boyfriend back home, but my father found out about him.
Even if you consented, Jessica, you're still underage. I know what happened to you, Jessica. Where exactly did it take place?
Please, it's scary. It's really difficult to think of anything.
Someone tried to kill you, Jessica. Do you get it? Forget about being in movies. It's time to act like a grown-up.
I had to wear a robe and lay down on a stone. There were lights, a camera. It's not my fault.
I'm not a bad girl. Why are you trying to hurt me?
How did you meet Mr. Bishop?
Well, Junie is a big movie star. You probably know that. She's doing a new movie.
What's the story with Bishop and Mrs. McAfee? Why does he want the two of you dead?
That can't be true. Mr. Bishop seemed very happy today. I mean, yesterday.
And that's why he wedged a shrunken head against the accelerator pedal and punted the two of you over an escarpment?
I overheard Junie speaking to him on the phone a couple of times. Screaming, really. She can be very hard sometimes, Junie. Okay, yesterday, like they worked it out.
Thank you, Jessica. You've been a big... my card. If you think of anything or you need some help, just get in touch, okay?
Okay.
I think it might be a good idea if you went back home till you felt better, Jessica.
I couldn't do that, officer. What if I got the part and I wasn't there?
It's the tale of this town, Cole. Lambs that go willingly to slaughter. Who the hell is that?
Must be her lawyer. He certainly expedited her release.
I don't like it, Cole. Why is she in such a hurry? We should follow her. There she goes. Come on.
Ballard is definitely up to something.
You've got a pretty funny idea of what keeping a low profile means, Phelps.
She seems to have made a remarkably speedy recovery.
Too close, Phelps. You're way too close.
Get in there and see what she's up to. Get in there and see what she's up to.
Baby? No! I don't want him taught a lesson. You know what I want. Well, then make someone else do it! You still know people out here, don't you? Then make some calls! I'm gonna be be very clear about this. You get this done, or I'm... Wilson's Hotel. Mr. Mark Bishop, that son of a bitch, lives in apartment 803. Sure, I got the film.
So what's the story? I'm guessing she didn't stop for light refreshments.
She made a call. Sounds like Mark Bishop has a heap of trouble headed his way. I've got an address. Wilson's Hotel, apartment 803.
Oh, shit. You better step on it.
If he's got any sense, he'll be as far away from home as possible.
If he had any sense, he wouldn't have tried bumping off Guy McAfee's wife in the first place. Or he'd have done the job properly. McAfee will break a fella's legs just for looking at his broad the wrong way.
What did you make of the kid? You believe her story?
I think she was doped out of her tiny mind and given the casting couch. That fucking bitch Ballard sold her out.
So if Ballard was doing someone a favor, why did they try to kill her?
Our units also needs assistance. 540 West 9th Street at Uncle Sam's Army Supply. 540 West 9th Street. Unit can handle code 2. Identify.
All units in the vicinity in car 11K, 11 King, a 415 in progress at apartment 803, Wilson's Apartment Hotel, 1220 West 7th Street, Westlake Park. 11K code 3, all other units code 2. KGPL clear.
Gun it! Let's get to the apartment before someone gets hurt.
What do you think?
Gun it! Let's get to the apartment before
I'm Detective Phelps. We received a call about a domestic disturbance in apartment 803.
Oh, the detectives. Listen, Mrs. Bishop's pretty upset. Take the elevator and then left down the corridor. It's the last door on the right.
Sounds like we're about to make it a hat trick of hysterical female witnesses.
I'm at a loss.
Gun it! Get to the apartment before someone gets hurt.
LAPD, ma'am. Are you in danger?
I'm all right now. You just missed them. Horrible, awful men.
Are you injured, Mrs.?
Mrs. Bishop. Gloria Bishop. Please, come in, officers. I'll just need to sit down for a moment. Forgive me.
That's perfectly normal, ma'am.
Just look at this mess.
We'll take a quick search of the premises, ma'am. You take a moment to gather your thoughts.
I will. Thank you, officer.
Presented to Mark. What do you have to do to earn $20,000?
Doesn't give me anything to go on. Circumstantial. Junk. Don't think this is anything.
Looks like the old movie set downtown. Those men, I think they work for Guy McAfee. Do you know the name?
No. Why should I?
June Ballard is married to Guy McAfee. Have you heard of her?
That slut. She's been badgering my husband for days.
Mrs. McAfee alleges that your husband tried to kill her and her friend last night. I think you should tell us what you know.
My husband's a movie producer. This has something to do with his new picture. He doesn't include me in his business.
June Ballard said she had a deal to be in his new picture.
Mark repeatedly told her no. He had Joan Leslie lined up for the role. That's how he got the finance. June made all kinds of threats. She was very rude to me.
You know June Ballard?
We were both on the same picture a few years back. That's how I met my husband.
Your husband was at a casting yesterday with a young girl?
Not that I know of. He told me he was looking at locations. The picture's been cast.
Jessica remembered a mermaid. The mermaid on the front of the prop store. You better come clean with me.
This is a sick town, Detective. Are you sure you really want to know? The truth is, my husband likes them young.
And you think that's okay?
I was 16 when I first met him. I thought he was a genius, a magician with film. I was 20 before I realized he was just a B-movie hack. But he's nothing compared to some of the monsters at these big studios. My guess is Ballard sacrificed her little friend. Happens to a lot of girls.
Why is your husband paying Lorna Hopgood $20,000?
Lorna? Marlon's ex-wife? Are you sure?
It's a lot of money, Mrs. Bishop. Doesn't it strike you as unusual?
Perhaps. Movies are expensive to make. You'd be surprised what expenses get hidden in the budget and how the money gets moved around.
Probably nothing.
A girl learns to take knocks in this town, Detective. You go. I'll be fine.
An aging movie star, a wannabe starlet, a movie producer's wife. They're finally rubbing shoulders with the almost rich and famous.
And from the stories they've given us, clearly none of them can act. What now?
I don't think things are under control at Wilson's yet, Phelps. Let's go back.
I'm grateful for your help, officer, but it's time you went and brought this business with Mark.
Looks like a mermaid in the background. Silver screen.
Who are these men in the picture?
My husband, Mark, and Marlon Hopgood. They work together on occasion. That's Hopgood's shop.
No good to me.
Where can we find your husband, ma'am?
He told me he would be on set. That's all I know.
Either we find him or McAfee's people do, Mrs. Bishop. If you care for him, you should make sure that we find him first.
I do care for him, but I don't really know where he'd go if he were in trouble. Hopgood might know.
Your husband is in trouble. It could go easier for him if you were more helpful, Mrs. Bishop.
He's a big boy, Detective, and so are you. This is Hollywood. There's always a deal to be done.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need a location on a silver screen prop store.
Just a moment. Silver Screen Props, corner 3rd and Figueroa.
Thanks, ma'am.
Continue to respond, okay?
Mrs. Bishop knows more than she's letting on.
She doesn't seem to realize how much trouble her husband is in. The LAPD are the least of their worries right now.
You'd think she'd have gotten the hint after those hatchet men redecorated her apartment.
Maybe she's just loyal.
Or she's in on it. She didn't seem like your average giddy broad with nothing between the ears.
Or she might just be trying to buy enough time for Bishop to put a couple of oceans between him and McAfee.
Open your...
Phelps and Bukowski, LAPD. We're investigating the attempted murder of June Ballard and Jessica Hamilton.
Christ. I'm Marlon Hopgood. How can I help?
You hold